in public. It's really echoey here. There's people walking past. Look. That's all this photo. Right, I'm going to try and do this quickly while there's no one here. So I thought I wanted to do a quick video about web series because I haven't spoken about it for ages because I've been busy with this feature, but at the same time I have been doing a lot of work on that as well. We did some filming last week, so I've got about I think 7 episodes filmed and ready to edit really, and one of those is nearly finished. I've sort of delayed it a bit for a couple of reasons. One was I was waiting for some clips to come in, which is sort of gone alright. I was hoping to get more, but I sort of can't put it off forever, so I think I'm just going to go with the ones I've got. So that should be up on Monday. And then the other reason I'd sort of delayed it a bit was because Paz has got a job. There's a magazine called 1080, which if you've been to YouTube you'll know about, because it's this sort of UK YouTube magazine. So they sort of do news on and columns on what British YouTubers are doing. Follow most of the writers who work for it, because I sort of figured that I was hoping that one of them would pick up on the Paz story. I hope that was the plan. Instead, I saw one of them post a thing about that they were looking for new writers, and I thought, well, like with a lot of this stuff, I thought, well, let's give it a go. Not really thinking about what the end game was, or why I would do that. Paz responded and said she was up for doing it. I wrote a couple of so I had to write a couple of sample articles. I wrote the first one, my wife wrote the second, and they wanted us to do it. I mean, it's not it's sort of voluntary, it's not paid. I think probably if it was paid then I'd run into problems. But it is kind of so every week Paz has to write one news story for this website. And I'm not quite sure what the thinking behind it originally was that I thought, well, it will give her sort of more kind of influence in a way. It kind of makes sort of it sort of gets her more into that YouTube world in a kind of networking sense, and does sort of again add to it this idea of her being real. And as I've said before, I think I'm increasingly more interested in that than I am in telling a story, which I don't think is I don't know if it's a bad thing or not. Sometimes I think it's a bad thing, and sometimes I think actually this is really interesting. Like, I like kind of sort of pushing it as far as I can go and seeing what I can do, seeing what happens with it. Obviously it can't go on for that long, because it's actually quite a lot of work. Because I don't know that much about YouTube, so whenever I get these the assignments through, I have to like spend about 2 hours researching who this thing's about, and I mean, it's in a way it's good because it kind of ties into the whole project, but yeah, it's one of those things where part of me is like, this is a great idea, and part of me is like, ooh, what am I doing? And there's sort of I think I used to be really bothered about people finding out and getting upset or angry about being misled, and I don't know whether it's just because I've been doing it for so long, or because I don't know, but I did seem to care less about that at the moment. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Probably not, actually. Yeah, I'm still going to carry on. The episodes we've got, like the one I'm going to release on Monday, is not a sort of, there's like a tiny bit of, there's like a fraction of story in there, which I almost cut out and then didn't, because then I was like, I'm going to cut that out, there's no story. But the one after that is like major like story point, so it's probably the most kind of dramatic one. The other thing that happened, because because it's been a weird year. Because at the beginning of the year, I had like loads of projects lined up, and then gradually they all kind of fell apart and all came to nothing. And because I've been so busy, it sort of didn't bother me that much. I've started to get more into my own stuff anyway. But I got a phone call. There was a project I was doing. I don't know if I can talk about this sort of thing. No one cares, but it was a sort of biopic of a well-known gangster. It sort of I did a first draft on sort of there was a contract in place, and then I didn't get paid for that first draft, and I sort of just let it go because the person who didn't pay me, I mean, there's a long, complicated story behind that, a lot of which I don't think I can even talk about. But anyway, randomly, someone else connected with the project phoned me a while ago, and I didn't phone them back because I just thought, oh, this is just going to be someone asking me to do more work for free. I can't be bothered. But eventually I did phone him back, so I thought, oh, you know, I'm trying to sort of work on this other feature, and it's like, well, I don't want to burn bridges and lose potential connections, so okay, I'll phone him back. Phone him back, and he said, well, we're trying to sort of keep this project going. And he was everyone I dealt with on it has apparently left the project, but there are a few other people who are still dealing with it who I've never spoken to before. And he was like, we're trying to sort of get this going, and we know that you've not been paid for the first draft, so they're trying to sort that out, which is really good. It's so rare in this sort of in the industry in this country that people actually, I don't know, care about paying you. So it's good. So I'm gonna go because someone just came and stood next to me, and I blatantly stopped what I was doing, and it's a bit awkward. So yeah, it's very weird doing this. Anyway, so yeah, I'll say goodbye. I'm going to post another vlog probably tonight at some point. That's going to be more about the feature I'm working on. But that's an update on the web series and stuff. Okay.